My name is Thunder. I'm 59. I live in Tacoma Hilltop. I've been homeless over a decade on and off, and it could happen again.
My name's Lisa Mansfield. I'm a public defender and I live in North Tacoma, the Proctor District. I've never been homeless before. I work with homeless people though. What do you think are some of the main causes of people being homeless?
There's so many. I don't know them all. I only know mine. I was kind of poverty by choice. That I was more of a free spirit, and I didn't want the rules and regulations of work. And when I did want to work, they didn't want to hire me, so it was kind of an endless cycle. Now I'm getting too old to work almost, because Donald Trump took my job.
Donald Trump took your job? How did he take your job?
He's the president. Yeah. Well, how do you see your role in the process of reducing homelessness?
Well, I'm a public defender, and my clientele is not wealthy. Just because they can't afford an attorney, they come to me. And so I see that homelessness is a real barrier to getting things that they need, like education or getting their kids back. So I see my role as a facilitator, somebody to try to link people up with services. On Wednesday, I'm going to a forum up in Seattle that is talking about kids and homelessness and how to find homes for kids. So I just see myself as trying to help.
Yeah. I know some people are homeless and they have jobs. Back in the 90s, I was living in the woods and it was snowing. It was really hard. But somehow I kept the job.
Okay, so you had a job, and at the end of the job, you would come back to the woods.
Yeah, and it was wintertime, so there was snow.
So what kind of shelter did you have?
I was trying to keep it low-key, so I didn't have a tent. I just had some clothes I would lay over on top of me. And, sometimes I would start a little campfire, but I had a dog up there.
Okay.
And interesting, there was people up there around Fircrest. And one midnight, it was snowing, and these my dog hears these twigs snapping, crink, crink, you know, and it started growling, you know, and I had a Bowie knife for protection.
Yeah.
So I hit it on the pot pan and go cling, and I said, "Who's the first to die?"
Woo.
And I heard this shot, and I said, "I guess I am." And I got down on the ground.
Oh man.
And I just said a prayer and said, "If you want to shoot me, go ahead."
What happened?
Somebody was up there stalking me with a gun.
Did they get anything?
They knew I had a dog. They knew they would probably have to kill the dog or me.
No.
So they said, I better not try that, I think. And besides, they let off a round. So they might have got scared and thought people heard it.
And so was that the end of that? Did they come back? Did you come back?
If you want to hear, yes, they did come back and they started painting pentagrams around the camp. Yeah. I mean, I think there were Satan worshipers.
Wow.
And so, that was kind of scary. So I moved up to Hilltop where the gangs were. And I said, it's safer up here with the gangs than in the woods with the Satan worshipers.
Yeah.
And, that was...
What do you think about living on the street as a choice?
Living on the, is this going on, living on the street on this is a choice. A lot of people don't like the regulations of homeless centers, so-called. You know, the curfew. Now, the good things happen at night for some people. I mean, you can't go out and see a concert.
What is the curfew that they're asking?
Oh, the curfew? If you live there,
Yeah.
I believe it's 7 or 8 at
That
night.
early? For grown people. That's early.
I could never stay there myself. I'd rather, but you know, yeah, because then you know they got to do showers later, and then you know that's the curfew.
So at the Nativity House, I was sitting in the day room. What else is at the Nativity House?
Oh, they have on the other side they have low-income apartment housing to transition people from the street, and I'm not up there, but I know some of the people living up there. They have a church service. I don't know, 3-4 times a week. Different groups go in there. They have an art room, which is really cool,
Oh, that is cool.
and that takes people's minds off the tension, anxiety a lot. It's therapy.
I think substance abuse or drug addiction. Sometimes people have mental health issues that they're struggling with. Depression.
Yeah.
Those are some of the larger social issues, and poverty. You know, just basic poverty.
Equality. I feel equality. All men are born equal, but they don't stay that way. And it depends on what you do with your life and how accountable you are. That will help you in the future. How accountable you are to the past and the present. There's a lot of pitfalls to fall into, but you have to try to make the best of what you've got and not squander it. Otherwise, you could be homeless for the rest of your life.
When I think about equality, I think about access and who has access and who doesn't. I remember I used to work for the Parks Department in New York City, and there was a program, the PGA put on a program for golf in the inner city, right? And I remember these guys being so amazed at how well these inner city kids were playing golf. They were amazed. And I just took a step back and I thought, why is that so amazing? If they have access to it, if they're taught, of course they're going to do well. It's not intrinsic that they wouldn't be able to play golf. They just haven't had the opportunity. So to me, equality means opportunity. And I think that's what's crucial, is that we have opportunities for people to have a good life. Once the opportunity is there, then it's on them to take the opportunity, of course, and make the best of it, like you're saying, and be accountable. But the opportunity's got to be there.
Do you think it is possible to solve homelessness? What is this, you know?
Is it possible to solve greed?
Ooh, that's a hard one, isn't it? Because I know some greedy homeless people. They hoard all the food, and you know.
I think that's what it comes down to. I mean, there are people who have so much and people who have nothing. And there's something wrong with that.
It is quite the contrast. I was just looking at this paper, housing strains. There's not enough houses. And even if you do have a job, it's hard to get a house.
That's the
So
truth.
the homeless really have a hard time. I see up in People's Park a lot of campers,
Yeah.
you know, and they're being run out at night, but they hang around in the daytime, try to sleep. Yeah, it's almost impossible to get a house. You have to make $150,000 a year. I read an article. Not many of those jobs around here, you know. And when you have a lesser job, you have two jobs.
Or 3.
You know, you're stressing out. Like I say, the housing prices are rising, don't you think?
Oh yeah.
And there's scarcity. How can you have people getting homes when they aren't even being built at the rate they need to be?
Well, I think too that kind of the statistic about people working and still being homeless, that kind of feeds into that stereotype that people think that they're lazy. No, people are working their butts off and they're just not able to get enough money and cobble it together to make a decent living. So how do we fix that?
Yeah, they work and they don't have enough because rents are high. Rents are.
Really?
Is there a way that government could tell people you can't charge that much? I don't know if that's even legal.
Thunder, go.
Oh yeah, I was gonna go like that. All right, let's think. One thing. I've enjoyed our conversation. I learned more about Seattle. I want to go visit there, but I don't want to live there. And I heard the homelessness is coming so much that, you know, they have sanitation problems.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go visit there and see what that war zone's like. But I'll always come back to Tacoma and love this.
Yeah. It seems like your roots are deep here. I just enjoyed listening to your perspective, and you know, you have a sort of a freedom about you that I like. You get on your bike, you go where you want to go. You know, you have your pride, and you look good. You know,
Thank you.
you're standing strong. I like that.
I hope I will continue.
Yeah.